Let's get into the 11 things I wish I knew with number one. I'm going to tell you, learn the process before you start passing things off. I see this so many times where new realtors get their first deal and they pass it off to a transaction coordinator. And I mean, that's great, but you need to know the process. What happens from the time you get that contract and the time you go to close? You need to know everything because what'll happen is you pass that off to the transaction coordinator. Customer's going to call you and ask a question, and you're not going to have an idea. You'll have no clue, and you will look bad. Understand the process before you pass it off to anyone. Now, if you're not confident enough and you need to give it to the transaction coordinator, understood. You need to do whatever it is you feel comfortable to have a successful closing, but follow along every step of the way and understand when he or she sends back, all right, you're doing a deal that has a lender. Has the application been applied for yet? Um, when are they ordering the appraisal and the inspection and the survey? You need to follow along. You need to understand every single process as it goes along so you can become that expert. And at the end, also make sure you understand what that settlement sheet is. I know when I got my first settlement sheet, I looked like it was Chinese. I had no idea what was going on. So I called and asked, and every transaction I asked, what does this mean? What does that mean? Because, so for example, on our settlement statement, some districts here charge to change over the mailbox and some don't. You need to know these things because if they're unclear, 99.9% of your buyers are going to call you and sellers, you, their realtor, and ask, what does that mean? And you need to know.